stuff. What else, guys? Anyone else got any update, thoughts, questions? Yeah, Mark. Yes, I assume this you're raising your virtual hand there.
Yeah, my virtual hand. It's AI
Hey,
hand.
how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Moran? It's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. So I have this deal I've been working on, commercial construction. There was multiple offers on it a couple months ago. They ended up coming back to me because the original buyer was not coming out of a corporate environment and just didn't the numbers aren't working the way he thought they were. So they came back to me, and then I had a meeting with them last week, and then there was another offer on it, but they called me on Friday and said that I got it accepted. So I'm pretty excited about that. Closing in November. So yeah, just a little win, and I'm excited about that, and the stuff works, and I'm grateful that I'm in this group.
It's beautiful, man. Thank you very much for sharing. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and if there's anything else you want to share about the deal, like where did you find it? Some of the
Oh yeah, sure. I
process
mean,
you
I just been kind of
negotiated.
I think I got a buy biz website sale. It was listed through a broker. Actually, it was through a broker, Sunbelt. It's a commercial construction company it's a union company, but they they have like 5 superintendents, and then they subcontract the rest. It does 5 million in revenue. It does like 530,000 cash flow, and the price is only 875. So I'm getting it for like less than 2 times earnings. But when they're higher subcontract businesses, they kind of go for less. They can go for less. But the nice thing about a subcontractor business like that is like I can grow 5 million and just add subcontractors, or if I lose, if I go down in revenue, I just have less subcontractors. You don't have a bunch of 100 employees that you got to keep fed if and lay off people as well. So and then I get to bid all the union jobs as well. So he's got employees that have been there for 36 years. And then I have another guy that I've kind of met through the grapevine that is going to be the perfect person to bring in there as a COO. He knows a lot more about construction than I do. He's done like medical buildings. He's been doing this since the 80s. So I talked to him, and he's interested in taking a look at this, and he sent me over his resume and stuff, and it just seemed like it's perfect. So I'm going to have him kind of go in and run it, and I'm just going to kind of be like a chairman and and go in weekly meetings and stuff. So it'll be kind of semi-absentee owned because I'm in land development, so I'm doing I got accepted for this land development position for a really, really big company. So I just want to kind of get the experience of having that. So I'm going to do that while I have this semi-absentee, and then we'll grow and roll up this company too. But the nice thing about this is I can do my own dirt work with this company too. So if I get another land development somewhere, whatever land development, I can also do that with this company as well, do my own dirt work. So it has a lot of synergies with what I'm already doing, and it seems to fit perfectly. So I'm pretty excited.
Good stuff, man. Why the seller wants to sell the business? What's the situation there?
What was that? Why did the seller want to sell
Why the
it?
owner wants to sell the business? Yeah.
Well, he's like, let's see, he's probably a little bit older than me. He's mid-50s, 57. He's got enough money to live forever. He doesn't even pull any money from the business. He's got a bunch of like industrial real estate buildings and stuff, and I think he's just ready to move on and do some other things with his life. From what I hear, I mean, he seems young enough where he could keep going for another 10, 15 years, but I think he's maybe just burnt out a little bit and ready to go do something else.
This is awesome. This is good stuff.
Yeah. It really is. And the thing is, I have a land development that I've been working on for 7 years, finally cashing out. I had to close through the highest interest rates since the 80s and Corona, it's been a battle, but I'm finally getting to the sunset of that. And I'm going to use the money. I'm going to put like $500,000 down on this thing too. And then he's going to finance the rest. Any banks, no red tape, no crap, no SBA crap. Just like give me this thing. pay off. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty excited about it all working out, the way it is. And I'll have land development. When I was doing it, it's just like you sell lots, but it just pays down the bank. There's no cash flow, and I tried to position a few about it ago. It fell apart on the last day, and I lost some money on it. So that one wasn't just wasn't right. But this is all come together perfectly because I'm going to close, and then I'm just put this deal right on the HUD one. I was like, just take the money out of my closing and let's close it.
And you have a team ready, like the accountants, lawyers to help you there?
Yeah, so I got my lawyer that I actually used on the last one. And funny story, I mean, I actually owe him money from the last deal, but he was like, he's okay. He's like, I'm gonna get you back on this deal. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of money, and it went bad like just at the last minute. And it was like really kind of out of everybody's control. So I called him again. He's open to helping out and everything. And I said, I'll get you squared off when we close this one. I own like 10 grand for trying to help on the last transaction. But so I have a good attorney, and he's kind of an attorney that's not trying to cause any problems. He just wants to get across the finish line. So he's pretty nice. And then I think I'm gonna have to get an accountant to a CPA to look at the stuff too. I haven't got that, but I think I can get a referral from the attorney on somebody else he uses because he does a lot of closings here in Minnesota. So
yeah.
But
Good stuff, man. What else you're planning to do with the business to try and grow it in the next 1, 3, 5
so
years?
yeah, so it does 5 million revenue. So one little small thing too is it's got like two small thing I'm gonna do is has two it's got two skid loaders, and he like lets people use the skid loaders or whatever. So I'm gonna like rent those out. That might bring in like 50 grand a year. That's a little something, I mean, they're just sitting and not getting used. And then I want to hire an estimator from another union company to come over, and so we can estimate more jobs. And then I'm gonna make contacts to like all my developer buddies and engineers and people I know in cities, on the cities and stuff, and start see if I can get an opportunity to bid all their dirt work and stuff like that, or bid their jobs they got coming up. So the number one thing that the guy says that I'm buying it from is says if you hired another estimator, you could basically double the revenue. So, and he goes, the best way to do that would be try to find one to take one from one of your competitors or another union guy in another union office. So that's kind of what I think right out the gate is what I'm gonna do is try to hire another estimator.
Love it, man. So you said they came back to you, right? Or
yeah, so it was
back,
weird.
let's take a step back. What happened there? Yeah.
So there's multiple offers on it, but as these brokers, they're gonna say there's multiple offers, whether there is or not, right? They're gonna so that's the problem. You don't know if there is or not, but apparently there was. It was a guy coming out of a corporate job. I'm assuming he was making a pretty good income, 200 plus or something. And then he was going to buy this business, but I think after he realized everything, he maybe was one of those blueprint brains or somebody kind of got cold feet or just realized he wasn't going to make as much as he thought after debt service or something. For whatever reason, he backed away. And then they came back to me. So I'm like, yes, this is perfect, And then, but there was still somebody sitting around on the sidelines and another offer. So they called me into the office. I went in there and they said, yeah, we got another offer. And I kind of asked them, well, what's that offer? And it's like same as you, seller finances. So then I kind of thought they were bluffing on the other person because of just the way that this guy answered, the broker answered the question. So I thought, okay, they're just waiting. And then they came back to me and they said, well, we're deciding whether to go with you or the other person. Can you put more than 500 grand down or 500 down? Would you be willing to make it a little sweeter? I said, well, yeah, I mean, I need a lot of seller financing on here because I want to make sure that, that he has a vested interest as well. And if, so I'll come up to 100,000. Well, then we gave him till Wednesday. That was Monday of last week. And Wednesday come back. Oh, we're still deciding. I said to him, I said, you know what? I have to make a decision on whether I'm going to buy this or another business. So I'll give you guys till Friday. Otherwise, I'm walking. I'm gonna go buy another business. I got a commitment I have to make too. I mean, I'm not gonna sit and just wait for you. And
Yeah.
and then Friday they called and said that I got it. So
Love
we're
it,
kind of
man. How
turning
long
it
it's been
around on
going
them a
on?
little bit. Huh?
How long it's been going on, this back and forth?
Um, so I originally saw the business probably 5 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that.
Cool. So, well,
Yeah.
4 or 5 months for 5 million. It's not too
5 million
bad.
revenue, half a million cash flow. I can run it absentee owned, pay the guy 100,000, give him 10%, 10% ownership equity, like, and basically be absentee owned and make quite a bit of money. So it's exciting, and I think
Beautiful,
we can
man.
double the revenue
Yeah.
pretty easily too with our core group of what we have. It comes to $200,000 working capital accounts receivable too. So I'm actually paying like 1.1 for it, but we're saving a lot of closing costs because we're not doing the SBA stuff and all that too.
Mhm.
So
Love it. Yeah.
it's
And some seller
and
financing
it's not.
is always good. Always great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have a lot to put down, but I worked 7 years on that other project. I was like a different acquisition, so it's. But if I didn't have it, there's always other ways that I could have went through the SBA with as well too. But I'm gonna save my SBA for the next one. I want to
Mhm.
use it up if I don't have to.
Yeah. And I see Philip here got the question. If you
Yeah,
want
where
to
are you
ask Philip, go
located?
for
Where's
it.
where's the business located?
Business is located in Minnesota.
Okay. And
And,
it's just pure building construction or it's excavation and dirt work, things like that?
so hold on a second. It's pure. It's commercial. So they do like CVS's or Best Buys or things of those natures.
Cool. So I'm a little interested in possibly doing an acquisition with a construction company like yourself, and that would be an
Oh,
ideal size for what I can bite off and chew myself. So I was just kind of interested and curious and about the deal. I mean, I guess you've talked with the owner a good bit now, and how's that going?
good. I got a letter of intent accepted. So I got so that's good. So yeah, pretty excited about it. Um,
But no talk. I guess the broker hadn't let y'all talk yet, or how's that going?
oh yeah, we've had two. I've gone in there twice. I met with them twice, face to face in the conference room. I mean, he lives 15 minutes from where I live, or the office is 15 minutes from me. So I've been in there a few times chatting with them, and then we have a meeting scheduled for later today to kind of go over next steps as well.
Awesome. That's really
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, I know. I'm definitely excited about this one. It's a big deal for
Thank you for
me. It's
sharing
like everything's
this.
coming together for this one.
Yeah.
I've been with Moran for a couple of years now, but not. It's just the timing. Timing. We're getting through my development, and then now, I think I bought this course like 2 years ago or something. I did the big value one, and then I've had one acquisition that failed and a couple of LOIs, but this one's different because I'm ready and I got a bunch of cash to put down too. So, and it's just
That's
the
kind of what
timing's
I'm
right.
waiting on too. I'm waiting on the timing to get right for me. So I'm not in a rush, but if the right thing comes along, I guess it'll be the right moment. So but yeah, I'm definitely going back, looking at modules and things so I can stay fresh, and I come here every week so I can stay fresh and ready.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's awesome. And right now it's like SBA is making it easier to get loans, and everybody's just I mean, it used to be 10% down, and then you had to put 5% seller standby. So you really only need 5% down on a multi-million-dollar business. Well, now it's 5%, but then you get the seller to do a 2.5% seller standby, and the seller standby where you pay them at the end of once the SBA is paid off, they have to the note stands by until the end. Well, now it's 5%, but 2.5 for the seller to hold. So you only need 2.5% down to buy a multi-million-dollar business with the SBA now. So it's pretty incredible, and they have partial buyouts now. where you can just buy half of a company with the SBA or quarter company. They started that partial buyouts in January as well. So that's interesting too, where you could just say, hey, let's just buy half of your company, and then the SBA will get involved and help you do that too.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Yeah, if you do that standby, a lot of banks will try to say, well, they won't mention it to you, 5%. But if you, hey, I want to keep money for, operation stuff, but let's do 2.5%, down and 2.5% seller standby. They can accept that, and the SBA will accept that. So even though the bank might push you towards it, the SBA will actually accept that.
Did you already have a bank in mind, or did you have to shop around a little bit on banks?
No, I'm doing all seller financing cash.
Oh,
on this
seller
one.
finance. Okay, I must have missed that. Okay, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, I put 500 grand down, and then he's financing like 500. Actually, I'm putting 600 down, and then he's financing like 400.
Cool.
Stuff. Thank you for sharing, Mark. This is great.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, quick question. What does your due diligence look like? So are you looking at the history of the company? Are you looking at the projects that they already signed for, or are you looking for the future? Just can you walk me a little bit through the due diligence, especially in the type of business?
Well, I think it's I'm gonna have to talk to my lawyer kind of about that, but I have a lot of experience in construction. But them getting where the due diligence, I think, would look like where they're getting their clients is like he's getting like 80% of his jobs from like one client. I want to know that relationship a little bit more, and how that like all pertains and how it works out. I want to know that the 5 employees that have been there so long are gonna want to stay. We have to have employment contracts going in to make sure that they stay. Because they can just walk over to another union shop and get a job like that day. So we have to make sure that they're happy. They're gonna be happy. They're okay with the culture shift. They do know about the sale. I guess that, and then a WIP report, work in progress report. So we'll go and see all the work in progress, kind of just do a little recon, make sure that work in progress is going well. Have my accountant go through the books a little deeper, a little bit more deeper approach to the books. And then whatever my attorney wants, go for there. But I'm gonna owe him like 350 grand. So he's got some vested interest in it. So that's a lot of due diligence there when they're willing to have some vested interest as well. I think just because they're not gonna be willing to walk away from that money, and they're not gonna sell you something that's really bad. So making sure that 80% client is good, making sure that the employees are gonna stay is kind of my main due diligence. I think of, and I don't know if Moran or anybody else can think of any other stuff. I'm kind of just happened to me on Friday, and I'm kind of like trying to figure out what other due diligence I need to do as well without making it. I don't want to complicate the process because I really want this deal. I think it's a good one. I mean, obviously, you got to still always be willing to walk away and not, turn all the odds in the seller's favor when you're just so desperate for a deal. My billionaire buddy. He kind of told me, he goes, always be willing to walk away, and then if he comes back to you, you're going to be in control. You're going to be in a more powerful position. Which happened on this deal. He came back to me, and I put me in a more powerful position. I don't know if I answered your question. My brain's kind of all over the place, but that's kind of the main things: is that where he's getting most of his work, how that relationship is. It's a 14-year relationship. Is that relationship going to keep going? Maybe meet that person, and then the work in progress report as well, and maybe.
I was just going to ask. You mentioned unionized workers. Is that all of your workers? I guess, or is that your
no? So that's a question I have to have with my attorney. It's union subcontractors, but I don't know. So they can bid the union jobs, but I don't know if I think they can hire union or non-union, which is even better. But I'm not sure about how that part boils out. That's a question for my attorney.
That's a good one. That's a good one to know.
Yeah, definitely. Because I had this on my CEO that I'm gonna bring in. And he's like, "Well, I don't want to do a union. They got too many fees and stuff." I'm like, "Well, no, it's not fully union. It's just union. We get the big job. We send our union superintendent out there, and he just put our doghouse out there, and then all the rest of the guys are subcontractors. So, so we don't. It's just nice because you can grow by, if I can go from 5 million revenue to 7 million revenue and just add subcontractors, but if I go from 5 to 2.5, I just decrease subcontractors, and my main group of superintendents is, there's not a lot of fat there. You know what I mean? You can grow, you can breathe, you can grow and come down, and not, in revenue, and not have a lot of costs versus getting employees to do all those jobs. Now, if you go have a down year, you got to lay off a bunch of people, after that.
Yeah, sounds like you got it all in your head. You just got to get it all out.
What's that? Sorry, I cut out for a second.
It sounds like you got it all in your head. You just got to get it all out. So
I'm on total action brain, so I need some blueprint helps. That's my attorney and stuff to help, because I just like see the vision and go, and I need a little bit of help with the blueprint part of it. But at least I know that about myself. So I don't mean to cut it short, but I got my daughter's going to school here. She's in the car, and I got to walk her into school here. So, I gotta kind of cut it short here. Yeah.
You're gold, Mark. Thank you very much.
All right. See you guys. You guys have any questions? I'm in Mighty
Sure.
group as well too. So
Thank you very much,
See you
Mark.
next
Thank
week.
you.
All right.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
bye. Yeah. Bye.
Take care.